And then remaining time, you can use it for your review. Okay? Kasi one module na lang naman tayo for prelim examination. And that would be the National uh, Electric Code. Okay? So, in this module, it is, pag sinabi po nating National Electric Code, it is the primary set of code na sinusunod ng mga electricians, inspectors, engineers when designing or installing electrical system. And pwede nyo pong isipin na yung NEC natin or yung National Electric Code is the standardized rule book and the foundation of all electrical safety. And dito, yung mga references ng wiring, grounding, fault protection, and installation. So, kumbaga kahit anong electrical project pa yan, mapabahay, commercial, or industrial, NEC is the minimum requirement. Okay? No matter how experienced an electrician is, so NEC ang sinusunod natin to prove that our work is safe and compliant. Okay? So, here are the intended learning outcomes. So, uh, assess the student understanding on the electrical standard and practice use in accordance with local and international code. So we need to know and interpret the standard used locally, the Philippine Electrical Code, and internationally, the NEC. And then another one is summarize necessary tools and techniques to be able to model, analyze, and design electric system application. So, dyan papasok yung choosing the correct wire size, computing voltage route, selecting proper grounding, calculating overcurrent protection, and applying chapters of NEC appropriately. And another one is to design an electrical system using electrical standard and practice used in accordance with local and international. Of course, nandiyan yung application natin. Okay? Okay. So, in here, the National Electric Code is also known as the NFPA 70, and it is created by the National Fire Protection Association, and ito po is a US safety organization. So, kino-cover po ng NEC natin is again the installation of wires, overcurrent protection. So, nandyan po yung breakers and fuses, grounding and banding. So, and also yung installing of electrical equipment. So, important clarification guys, pag sinabi natin NEC, this is not a law by itself. So, hindi siya law technically. Pero, isinulat siya as if it's already legal. Okay? Para, kumbaga, madali siyang i-adapt ng other states or cities. Kasi globally, NEC is considered the gold standard because it is a detailed and continuously updated. Okay? And nakalagay din dyan, it has also been adopted into law by many Latin American nations. Okay? Okay. Okay. So, meron po tayong tinatawag na the NEC or the NFPA 70 is part of the family of the Electrical Safety Code along with NFPA 70B, NFPA 70E, NFPA 110, and NFPA 111. So, NEC becomes legally enforceable only when adopted by a state or jurisdiction authority having a jurisdiction. So, actually, meron pa nga tayong tinatawag na hindi lang nakalagay dito yung NEC 2020 adopted by State A, NEC 2017 adopted by State B, NEC 2023 adopted by New City. So, kumbaga meron tayong different version because every state has its own legislative timeline. So, this is the same reason kung bakit po tayo or bakit meron pong Philippine Electrical Code. It is updated at different years and local governments adopt it at different times. And NEC is not a law unless adopted by a specific state. Okay? So the other standard deals with subsequent work such as a 70B. So andyan yung the maintenance of electrical equipment, 70E, workplace of electrical safety, 110 and 111, use of emergency power system. Okay? Okay. And another one, guys, yun pong sinasabi dito, yung pinakauna, yung PA17 na NEC. So, nandyan, just to give you an background, papasok po dyan installation phase, wiring methods, grounding, protection. Yun naman pong NFPA 70B. So, dyan papasok yung maintenance of electrical equipment, condition assessment, at preventive and predictive maintenance. Sa 70E, sa pagkakatanda ko, dyan papasok yung electrical safety ng ating workplace, arc, arc flash as well, the PPE, and safe work and practices. Okay, pero yung NFPA 110 and 111, so dyan papasok yung emergency generators, backup power system, fuel system, battery storage, and such. Ano? So, sa NEC natin, design and installation. So, in short, sa 70B at 70E, maintenance and work safety, while sa 110 and 111, emergency system. Okay? Okay. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So, uh, so NEC doesn't only define wiring rules. It's also protect yung mga workers natin. Example, NEC requirement is yung arc flash hazard warnings natin. And doon, dapat yung equipment natin must display labels na pinapakita yung arc flash boundary, incident energy level, and PP is required. Kasi just to make sure that those employees is alam kung ano ba yung hazard na meron doon sa area na yun. Okay? And another one is the minimum working clearances. So, NEC defines or required distance in front of yung tinatawag nating switchboard, panels, and also safely appropriate the equipment or safely operate the equipment. And yung pong mga escape, kapag yung mga daan, kumbaga kung saan tayo pupunta pag nagkaroon ng arc flash, and of course, yung perform maintenance. Okay? And nandyan din papasok yung ating equipment labeling. So, meron tayong panels, disconnect, and conductors, 'di ba? So, dapat meron yung proper identification, voltage rating, purpose, or area kung saan ba ito nakalagay. And meron po din po tayong tinatawag na OSHA or yung OSHA. References po yan ng NEC because they complement each other. No? Yung NEC, installation rules, kapag OSHA naman, workplace, right? Di ba magka-tandem sila? Kasi yung NEC sinusunod natin dun yung mga installation guide. Okay? And yung OSHA is yung workplace rules. No? Okay. Next. Okay, because the NEC does not automatically hold legal weight, but must instead be adapted at the discretion of individual jurisdiction with authority over electrical installation, not all US states follow the same version of NEPA. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na different state, nag-iiba-iba po ang version niya. Ano, because this is not a law by itself. Okay? Okay. And since adoption is jurisdiction based on each state, gaya nga ng sinabi ko, so uh, bakit po some states lang? Kumbaga, hindi siya pare-parehas. Number one for that is yung iba, it would take a lot of time before they update it. And yung ibang state, is also requiring a public hearings, and yung iba naman, they only update every few years. Ano, kaya every state a different translation sa ating NEC. No, this means that an electrician moving on from one state to another must know kung ano ba yung NEC na sinusunod or NEC version na sinusunod. Okay? Kasi po, this really matters kasi yung wire ampacities natin ay nagbabago. Ano? It changed. And yung GFCI natin, nagbabago rin yun. Okay? Conductor sizing rules, kailangan updated yan. Grounding details is nire-revise. Okay? Okay. Okay, take a look at this. So, ito po yung ating NEC update every 3 years. Sort of like, ano? Wait. This one. Ito nga ba yun? Okay. So, check niyo po ito. So, for 2020 NEC 25, so meron naman po yung per category, ano, per color, per legend. Okay? For 2017 NEC, so 17, meron tayo. And then, 2014 NEC, meron tayong dalawa. And then, 2008 NEC is dalawa din. And for country or municipality energy regulation has only 4. Okay? So take a look of those. So if you might want to screenshot, please do so. Pero nasa Google Classroom naman natin. Okay. What is the current version of the National Electric Code? It is formally identified as ANSI NEPA 70, first published in 1897. The NEC is updated and published every 3 years, with the 2003 edition being the most current. NEC 2023 was released noong September 14, 2022. Ano? Every 3 years po, halos nag-update ang ating NEC. So, new technologies, papasok dyan, solars, EV charges, new materials, katulad ng aluminum alloys, yung MC cable natin, nagbabago po yan. And of course, yung ating new safety research na kung saan papasok din yung arc flash studies natin. And again, the most current version was released noong September 14, 2022, yung NEC 2023. And it contains a major updates dun sa mga nasabi ko kanina, GFCI, AFCI, renewable energy, EV system. Ano? Kaya po siya nagbabago. Sir, 'di ba sinusunod po natin 'yan. Yan po yung standard. 'Di ba pag ibig sabihin ng standard, dapat yun at yun ang susundin. Pero bakit po siya nagbabago? Because yung older version kasi may not address the modern hazard equipment kasi marami na tayong mga modern equipment na wala na or wala pa doon sa NEC 2023 or and below. Ano kaya po siya ina-update? Okay? And another one is the purpose of the National Electric Code. So, as stated po doon sa ating NEC 90.1A, the main goal is to protect the life and property from electrical hazard. So, meaning, NEC does not guarantee the efficiency, okay? So, hindi po ibig sabihin pinalo natin yung NEC is yung efficiency ng ating system is magagaranti na natin. Ano, depende pa rin po yan. Okay? And following the NEC does not guarantee the lowest cost. Ano? So, not because sinunod natin yung NEC is yung mga equipment, materials na magagamit natin is at lowest cost. Okay? And as you all know, NEC set minimum safety, not performance. Okay? It only deals with the safety of the environment and the electrician as well, but not the performance ng mga system natin. Ano? This is why some rules sa NEC seem strict or costly because safety is the priority, not for aesthetic purposes or convenience. Okay. Okay, another one is how NEC is used or paano ba siya ginagamit. So, explain ko lang to ng very appropriate way or easy way na mas madali niyo maiintindihan. Ano? Okay? Uh, NEC applies to overhead distribution lines, underground wiring, substation, inside building, industrial buildings, industrial plants, commercial buildings, residential homes. So, ibig sabihin, dun sa mga nabanggit ko, it really requires a minimum requirement for safe installation, kagaya ng conductor sizing, grounding, bonding, breaker ratings, conduit fields, at wiring method. Ano? So, importantly, ginagamit siya because NEC is the minimum standard. Paulit-ulit ko po yung sinasabi. NEC is the minimum standard, but engineers can exceed but not go below. So, kumbaga, pwede kang mag-exceed or pwede mong lampasan pa yung minimum safety, pero hindi po pwedeng mas bababa pa doon. Okay? For example, gawin natin siyang in real life scenario. Ano? Kung ang minimum conductor size po natin sa NEC is 12 AWG, ano, American Wire Gauge, uh, you can choose number 10 for lower voltage drop. If nagre-require yung asin ng 1 clearance, so you can design 2. But you cannot design below sa 1, right? So dapat mas mataas po doon because it is unsafe. So pag napunta na kayo sa computation, malalaman niyo na it really unsafe designing a below NEC and illegal po yun. Ano? Illegal siya. Okay? So, NEC provides the baseline rules. So, pag sinabi natin baseline, of course, minimum standard pa din. Minimum na pinapollow natin, minimum na sinusunod natin for safe electrical installation across different system. Okay? Okay. So, chapters of NEC. So, we have multiple chapters. So, nandyan po yung chapter 1 with its general. So, ang kino-cover po niyan is yung definitions, voltage classifications, conductor markings, equipment markings, general installation requirement. And another one is yung wiring protection. It covers the rules on overcurrent protection. So, papasok po dyan yung breaker and fuses natin. Grounding and bonding, branch circuits, feeders, service entrance conductor. Okay? And another one is the chapter 3, which is yung wiring methods and material. So, dyan na po papasok yung types ng mga conductors natin, yung THHN, THHN, XH, HW, THW, and marami pang iba. Ano? Types of wiring systems, so raceways, cable trays, conduits, dyan na rin po papasok. Okay? And also yung conduit and cable requirements natin. Specifically sa wiring methods and materials, so you will know here kung ano ba yung proper way ng pag-i-install ng wiring. Okay? And for chapter 4, equipment for general use. So examples for that, so yung mga receptacles natin, switches, heaters, lighting fixtures, and cords. Okay? So dito, this chapters ensures equipment is proper designed, protected, and installed safely. Okay? And for chapter 5, nandyan po yung special occupancies. So these are special environments that pose Unique hazard, saan? So, mobile homes, agricultural buildings, RV parks, temporary installation. So, dyan po papasok yan. Ano? Sa special occupancies. And another one, kung may special occupancies, of course, meron tayong special equipment. So, chapter 6, so it covers the required unique rules for signs, machinery, transformer, generator, X-ray machines, and elevators. Diyan din po yung papasok. Okay, and another one is the chapter 7, special conditions, wherein if dyan po papasok or yung mga guides natin dun po sa mga system natin that operates under special conditions. So what are those? Alin po yun? So emergency systems, standby power, fire alarm system, security system, energy storage system. So dyan po papasok yun. Ano? This system must remain reliable even during abnormal situations. So dyan na po papasok yun. Ano? Okay, and another one is the communication system. So ano ba yung mga kasama dyan? So telephone, circular system, TV cable, radio system, broadband communication. So this chapters is actually mostly independent siya from the rest of NEC. Ano? And another one is yung table and annexes. So it provides references sa ating tables. So conduit fill, conductor properties, dyan din. Dimensions, dyan din po papasok. So, and of course, yung ginawa natin last time, yung example calculations. Ano? And these tables are heavily used in electrical design and layout. So, doon po natin malalaman kung ano ba yung mga proper sizing for installation. Okay. Next one naman natin is grounding of electrical system and equipment. Okay, and dito po guys, actually this is one of the most misunderstood and easy topics. Kasi yung OSHA po natin, it records 20,000 plus violation per year. Just related pa lang dun sa ating grounding issues. Do you know how much or how many is that? Sobrang dami. Ano? And ano ba yung mga common problems dyan? So, dyan papasok yung missing groundings, loose grounding wires, damage dun sa ating ground connection. Ano? Kasi po, grounding is really essential. Why? Because it really directs the fault current safely sa ating, saan ba? Saan ba siya pupunta? Sa Earth. Ano? So, meron po dyan para ma-prevent natin yung shock, fire, damage sa equipment. Ano? Kaya, hopefully, hindi na siya madagdagan. Kasi grounding is really commonly violated in this part. It really often misunderstood. But, it's extremely critical for safety. So, kaya hindi dapat siya nami-misunderstood. Okay? Okay. Okay. So, the real problem is that most electrical equipment will work without a ground connection. For example, an electric drill will not work if the hot or neutral wire is open. However, if the ground wire is open, it will work properly. Even though the drill works properly without a ground connection, it is not safe to use. So, this is, ano ba yung pinakamadaling example bukod dito? Yung pagpuputol nyo ng, or yung iba, yung pagpuputol ng ground sa saksakan. Though gumagana siya, pero hindi dapat siya ginagawa. And, gaya nga na sinabi dito, so, sige, itong example na lang ito, electric drill natin. Ito, devices po like electric drillers or appliances will still work or operate even without yung ating open ground. But, as you all know, without grounding or without ground, wala po tayong protection doon sa fault current. No? Wala po siyang safe paths or wala siyang pupuntahan. Okay? Hindi siya makakapag-create ng, or it would create pala, sorry, yung tinatawag nating shock hazard kapag inalis natin yung grounding or yung ground. Okay? Kasi, for example, yung ating hot wires, lumapat siya, dumait siya dun sa metal casing natin, then most probably, you can be electrocuted dahil wala nga po siyang ground. Ano? And hindi siya magtitrip. Pag inalis niyo po yung ground, hindi po magtitrip yung breaker natin. Okay? Okay. Another one is the general requirements for grounding and bounding. So I think this is only part one. Yeah. Okay. And sir, ano po gusto sinabi nating bonding? So, pag sinabi natin pong bounding, ito po yung permanent joining of metallic parts na nag-ensure na yung electricity natin is continuous. Ano? And diyan na po papasok yung bounded natin. Ano? The permanent joining of metallic parts to form an electrically conductive path that will ensure electrical continuity and capacity to conduct safely any current likely to be imposed. Okay? And another one is yung bounding jumper natin. So in short, uh, explanation from here. So conductors that connect metal parts to maintain the bonding. It's the same. Okay? Almost. Okay, another one is yung bounding jumper equipment natin, or sometimes magkabaliktad siya, tinatawag equipment bounding jumper. So specifically, it connects equipment grounding conductors together. Okay? And itong mga terms po ito, it really does matters because it determines how fault current returns in our source. Okay? Okay, another one is yung main bounding jumper natin or yung bounding jumper main. So it connects neutral and ground at the service entrance. And another one is energized. So anything connected sa ating source ng voltage, no? Anything connected sa ating source voltage. Okay? And next is the equipment. So dito naman any electrical device, apparatus or fitting. Okay, next is yung ground. So, pag sinabi natin ground, a connection to earth or something functioning like earth. Okay? Next natin is grounded. So, connected to earth or to some conducting body that serves in place of the earth. And another one, grounded effectively or effectively grounded. So, grounded with low impedance. So, yung voltage natin or yung voltage build-up, hindi siya mag-a-accord. Ano? And another one is yung grounded conductor. So, it connects equipment or the grounded conductor dun sa earth pa rin natin or electrode. Okay? Next naman natin is the equipment grounding conductor or yung tinatawag nating EGC. So, dito in short, it connects the metal parts dun po sa ating grounding system. So what are those raceways? Nandiyan, grounded conductor, grounded electrode conductor. Okay? And next one is the ground fault circuit interrupter. Okay, it protects those people from saan? Saan po? Sa fault. Okay? And mostly, ang GFCI po, nilalagay yan sa mga wet location or prone sa wet location. Ano? Saan, sir? CR, madalas. And another one is yung ground fault protection of equipment. So, yung tripping po niyan is on a higher level. Ano? Kasi yung GFCI natin, ang difference niya sa GFCI natin, it prevents yung electric shock. Pero, ang Ground fault protection of equipment is of course prevent equipment damage. Okay? Yun po ang pinagkaiba nila. Okay? Again, pag sinabi natin GFCI, it prevents the electric shock, while yung GFPE natin, it prevents yung damage sa ating equipment. Okay, next one natin is the general requirements for grounding and bounding. So, ito yung part 2. Okay, for in section 250.4, it states that the general requirement for grounding and bounding of electrical system for both grounded and ungrounded system. For grounded system, the NEC requires you to perform all the following. So, okay. So, it requires first, yung tinatawag nating system grounding or yung electrical system grounding. Another one, equipment grounding, equipment banding, magkaiba po yun, ano? And banding of conductive material. So, all of these are created or it creates effective ground fault current fault. So, para yung fault natin, ano, alam or sabi nga, it create a wiser path dun sa ating fault. No? Okay. And sir, paano naman po kapag yung sa underground natin? Then of course, kapag naman underground yung system natin, so sometimes ini-skip na po natin yung system grounding, but it still really require yung banding natin. Ano? Okay? Okay, grounding of electrical system. So, electrical systems that are required to be grounded shall be connected to the earth in a manner that will limit the voltage imposed by lightning, line surges, or unintentional contact with higher voltage lines, and that would stabilize the voltage to the earth during normal operation. So what are those? Again, lightning, line surges, yung ano pa ba yung mostly common? Yung aksidente mong mahawakan yung higher voltage. So, yun po yung iniiwasan din natin. Ano? Transient over voltage. Okay? And next natin, next slide, is yung grounding of electrical equipment. So, dito guys, meron po kasing yung metal natin, meron po yung live conductors. So, yung mga live conductors natin must be grounded. So, para saan? Para yung fault current natin will travel safely. And those enclosure does not become energized. So, ibig sabihin yung mga enclosure natin, hindi dapat siya dinadaanan ng electricity. And of course, dun sa isa pa dyan na papasok is yung breakers natin should and always trip quickly. Okay? And you should know that if the system is ungrounded, so malaki ang posibleng mangyari. Ano? So higher chance or chances are magkaroon tayo ng ano tawag dito? Ano bang tawag? Ano bang proper term doon? Mga unsafe scenario. Ano? So kasi pag hindi po yan grounded, ano, if the system is ungrounded, so kailangan pa rin po nating gumamit nung banding kasi nga connected yung dalawang yan eh, yung grounded at yung bounding. Kasi yung fault nga po natin, dapat meron siyang tamang path. Okay? So, we should create a safe path for our fault. No? Para hindi tayo magkakaroon ng sudden flick or fluctuations dun sa electricity. Pag nagkaroon nun, so biglang mamamatay yung kuryente. Eh, meron po tayo mga high starting current sa mga motor natin. So, what are those? Aircons, refrigerator. So, yun po yung iniiwasan natin. Kasi pag bigla po yung namamatay, so possible po masira yung mga equipment natin. Okay? And another one is yung performance of the fault current. Okay? Okay. So, the fault current path must be, so ito po yung mga susundin natin. Ano? So, the fault current must be permanent. Hindi po dapat yan nakakalas. Ano? And also, continuous. Ano? Walang open connection. Dapat magkadugtong yan. And dun sa power triangle natin, of course, dapat siya ay low impedance. Ano, para mas mabilis mag-trip yung breaker natin. Pag high impedance po yan, most probably, sunog na po yan bago pa mag-trip. Ano, bago pa mamatay yung kuryente. And also, it capable or is it capable of carrying a maximum fault? No? Okay, and you should know that the better the path, the faster the protective devices clears the fault. Okay? And I think this is one of the most reason kung bakit maraming nagagalit sa iba't ibang utility company. Ano? Kasi hindi po, though hindi naman talaga makakapag-create ng 100% proper grounding. Yung kumbaga, malulocate mo agad yung fault. Hindi naman ganun kadali yun. Ano? So, okay. Okay, next natin is the fault current path, sorry, tapos na pala tayo. Yeah. So, grounding of electrical systems or yung sa OSHA rules natin, yung OA, LS, HA. And it can also be found dun sa ating 2005 NEC section 250.20, particularly sa F grounding paragraphs F1 through F. And if the sections contain grounding requirement for system circuit. Okay, so paigliin na lang natin ano para mas mabilis itong maintindihan. Okay. So, sa OSHA po kasi, nakalista po dyan or OSHA list system that must be grounded. So, those list ng equipment should be grounded. So, what are those? Yung 3-wire DC system natin. Uh, and as well as yung DC system above 50 volts. Kasama po yun. 50 volts, sorry. And AC system below 50 volts if outdoors or sa labas. And as well as yung AC system natin, 50 to 1,000 volt system, unless exempted. Ano, meron naman tayong mga exemptions sa rules. Ano nangyayari yun? So, these rules ensures that fault current have a safe path. And dun po sa OSHA natin, it really identified which AC or DC system require a grounding safety. Okay. And additional, AC system must be grounded if ang grounded conductors that not exceed 150 volts to the ground. And also, system is in 480Y and Y connection, 277 volts, three-phase neutral use. And system is 120, 240. So, meron tayong primary, secondary volt. No? Three-phase midpoint is used. So, meron po tayo kasi tinatawag na configuration. So, it really dependent dun sa ating heavily neutral. Okay? And so, or more so, grounding is really essential kahit po yan ay AC. Okay? And yung AC system po kasi natin with neutral use or low to ground voltage must be grounded. Okay? And okay, next natin is grounding electrode system. So, sir, ano po ba yung sa grounding electrode system? So, paikliin na lang po natin ano in the best way that you can understand. So, papasok po dyan yung grounding electrode system natin. So, what are those? So, ground rods, building steel, concrete encased electrodes, and ground rings. And all available electrodes must be bounded together. Magkakasama po. Ano? Bonded together. So, may spacing rules naman po tayo under din dyan is yung minimum of 6 feet apart and best, though minimum nga siya ng 6 feet apart, ang best practice po, nakalagay naman dyan, ano, best practice is at least 10 feet apart. So, yun yung sinasabi ko kanina na hindi ka pwedeng mag-below doon sa ating minimum standard. No? At least above. Okay? Okay, in this part, dun sa OSHA 29 CFR natin na 1910.399. So, in short po dito, the grounding electrode conductor or yung GEC natin na tinatawag is usually copper, 'di ba? So, best material po ang copper, okay? And it may also has aluminum but with the restriction. So, hindi po pa palaging aluminum. Though ginagamit siya, but it really has a restriction. Okay? And it cannot be spliced. So, hindi po siya pwedeng i-splice unless ginagamitan po natin siya ng special methods and must be continuous. Wala po yung putol. Okay? Dun sa mga wiring natin. And yung aluminum po kasi natin cannot be buried or hindi po siya pwedeng ibaon or mapalapit or madaitan or lumapat dun sa masonry natin due to corrosion. Okay? And in short, dito guys, GEC or yung grounding electrode conductor natin must be continuous, properly sized, and preferably, dapat copper ang gagamitin natin. No? Though, ginagamit ang aluminum, but most of the time. Okay, next. Okay. In this part is yung tinatawag nating splicing condition. So, dyan papasok po yung sometimes kasi inaalaw po ng NEC natin yung splicing ng GNC. Only if po ha, only if gagamit po tayo ng reversible compression connector or yung tinatawag nating CAD weld. So ano ba yung CAD weld, sir? Para saan ba yun? So in short, welding. Yun po. Ano? So to ensure permanent and low impedance connection. Kasi nga, pag high impedance po yan, hindi po ganun kabilis mag-trip yung ating breaker. Okay? And pag hindi po agad dyan nag-trip, no, so magkakasunog, possible. Makuryente kasi yung daloy ng kuryente nandun pa din. Okay? Kasi hindi nga agad siya nag-trip pag high impedance. Okay. Okay. Dito naman, more on definition of terms. So what are those? Cutout box, dead and throat, etc. So isa-isahin natin. Ano? So, pag sinabi po natin cutout box, it is a type of enclosure para saan? Para saan po ba, sure? So, sa switches, fuses, etc. Okay? Enclosure po yan. Okay? Another one is yung dead prone. So, for dead prone, equipment designs were doon po nakalagay yung mga live parts natin. Ano? Kasi dapat yung live part natin is hindi siya exposed dun sa ating user. Kasi nga siya ay live, right? Okay, another one is yung device. So, any unit controlling or carrying electrical energy. So, kahit ano pa po yan, ano? So, kahit anong unit po yan na meron pong electrical energy or nagkikarry ng electrical energy. So, we can call it device. No? So, TV, etc. Marami. Okay? Another one is yung disconnecting means. So, pag sinabi pong disconnecting means, so typically guys, ito po yung mga switch or device natin na ginagamit para mag-disconnect ng power. So, para maputol yung power, para makati yung power, safely. Ano? Safe dapat. Okay? Disconnecting means. Okay, another one is yung continuous duty or duty continuous. So, for that, papasok po dyan yung operation at a substantially constant load for indefinitely long term. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? Same load for long period. So, dapat daw hindi nagbabago. Ano? So, hindi nagbabago yung load natin kasi may continuous duty po tayo. So, may tinatawag tayong peak load. Pero pag-uusapan natin soon, ano? Or pag-uusapan nyo din naman yung pag pumunta na kayo ng power plant. Pag-subject na ng power plant. Okay. Another one is yung intermittent duty. So, meron po tayong on and off cycles, di ba? So, next is yung periodic duty or duty periodic. So, dyan po, in short, meron po tayong tinatawag na repeating cycles. No, kung sa intermittent duty or yung duty intermittent, meron tayong on and off cycles. Sa periodic duty, meron tayong repeating cycles. So, nakalagay naman po dyan, in which the load conditions are regularly recurrent. Okay? And dagdag ko lang dito sa duty intermittent natin. So, number 1, intervals of load and no load. 2, load and rest. 3, load and no load and rest. So, on and off cycles nga po in short. Okay? And next natin is yung duty short time or yung short time duty. So, gaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, meron po tayong tinatawag na peak load. And yung peak load po natin, meron po tayong tinatawag din na demand load. So, meron pong oras dyan na kinakailangan natin ng high load or meron na, yun nga po, yung peak load natin. Kasi may time po dyan na lahat po ng ating equipment is buhay, lahat ng user gumagamit. Ano, high load for a short time, in short. And another one is yung varying duty. So, sir, ano po ba yung varying duty? So, in short, dyan na po papasok yung unpredictable load changes. So, when we say unpredictable, meron changes nga po or sudden changes na hindi inaasahan. Okay? Okay, next natin sa definition of terms is one family dwelling. So, what are those? A single household, in short. A building that consists solely one dwelling unit. So, another one is yung two-family dwelling or yung dwelling two-family. So, building that consists solely for two dwelling units. So, in short, duplex po yan. Okay? Dwelling multifamily, a building that contains 3 or more dwelling units. So, 3 or more dwelling units. So, what are those apartments? No? Yun po ang example. And dwelling unit, single unit providing complete independent living facilities for one or more person, including permanent provision for living, sleeping, cooking, and sanitation. Okay? Okay, next naman natin is yung overload. So, when we say overload, when equipment is used beyond the rated capacity for too long. Okay? So, may rated capacity po kasi ang ating system and nangyayari ang overload kapag lagpas na po tayo dun sa usage niya. Ano? Ginamit natin ng mas matagal doon sa preferred time na ginagamit ng dapat siya. And another one is yung panel board. So, as you know, alam niyo naman ng panel board. So, a panel containing switches, buses, and breakers accessible from the front. And another one is yung photovoltaic or PV system. So, which you already know. So, yung solar power system natin na kina-convert po yung sunlight into electricity. Okay? Questions? Question, guys. May question po kayo? So, ito naman, everyone, naka-post na naman ito sa Google Classroom natin. Ano? So, again, paulit-ulit kong sinasabi, basahin niyo po yung ating PEC 2017, yung book. Ano? So, particularly, yung mga symbols niya. Dapat alam niyo din yun, yung mga nakaraan. Ano? Dapat alam niyo yung mga symbols natin. So, nasa PEC 2017 naman po natin. Ano? So, you might want to check that. Okay? Questions po? Questions, guys. So, sige, post ko na din nga pala yung sa symbol natin para meron naman ako. So, eto po, dapat alam nyo po yan. So, save ko lang. So, ipopost ko to in a bit. So, may questions kayo, guys? Wala? Clarifications or whatnot. So, meron ba tayong at least 2 hours pa almost, ano? And then, yung remaining hours natin, since tapos na tayo ng discussion hanggang NEC lang tayo, class rep, please group pala yung section nyo into 9 groups. 9 groups dapat. Ano? So, ilan ba kayo? Ilan nga kayo? 30. Nasa 40 plus ba kayo? I-check ko lang. Under maintenance pala ang ating portal. But anyways, yun nga. Ano? 9 groups dapat. So, yung 9 groups natin, yun po yung for 10% communication and presentation natin. So, please send it to me ASAP, the list para mabigyan natin ng topics to be discussed. Okay. Pwede mo naman i-follow up. But at least within today sana. Okay? So kung wala lang kayong question, please use the remaining time to review or to do your remaining works sa ibang subject. So, yung lang naman ang sa atin for today. Okay? Questions? Questions? Wala na. Final. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, kung wala nang questions, so you may leave the meet. And bye for now, everyone. See you again next meeting. And good luck on your prelim examination.